Artist and educator Sharon Wilson was born in Bermuda in 1954. In 2009, the artist created the Gold Collection. This is a collection of 13 pastel portraits of young Bermudian boys between the ages of 5 and 11 years. The collection was created in response to the escalation of black-on-black crime and its impact on the island. This collection stands as a reminder to the people of Bermuda that its children are ultimately the only gold or currency of value, and that families must make radical changes in parenting if we are to regain health. We must accept responsibility for the behavior and well-being of our children. In 2010, I made a conscious effort to become more accessible to my audience and to establish new ways to engage in healthy dialogue. I recognized the need to explain the philosophy which drives my work. Earlier this week, I had a visitor to the studio, and his name is Mr. Samuel Wilkinson. And I'm happy to be able to say that Samuel is with us here today. Good afternoon, Samuel.
Afternoon.
It's really good to have you here. And Samuel is a music teacher. And it's really interesting because I was an art teacher, so an art educator come painter, and you are a music teacher, so we got the arts here surrounded this afternoon. Samuel, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, as you say, I'm a teacher. I'm 33 years old. I'm from the UK, but actually I'm living in Swaziland, Southern Africa at the moment. So, but I spent most of my life in UK up until 2 years ago.
Okay, that's great. And when we were together early this week, I was, in an effort of trying to get the philosophy out there, I was talking with you about the Gold Collection and the fact that it started with just 13 paintings, but that I continued with the series because I believe so strongly in the philosophy. Of the 13 images, which one resonated with you the most?
Okay, it was the image of the young boy with the halo. He looks like he's in a school uniform. And I guess it resonated with me when you were explaining a little bit about his reaction when he saw the painting for the
painting
first
of
time.
himself for the first time. Let me just explain to the audience the little scenario that took place. And I'm calling it a little scenario, but actually it was quite emotional for me, the artist. I produced the painting. I took it to school and put it up on the screen so that it was about 4 or 5 foot tall. And I summoned the little boy to the art room and asked him what he thought. And he was very quiet, very, 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 he was a boy of few words and always seemed a little bit sad. And I said, well, what do you think? And he looked, and I said, who do you think it is? And he said, it looks like me. I said, well, it is you. I said, what do you think of it? And he said, I think it's beautiful. I said, it is, and so are you. And he shyly looked up at this big screen, there he was. And when he left, it just brought a lot to mind for me, because as a woman of 57, when I was growing up, there weren't any picture books with black children's faces in it. And I remember saying to my mother, why don't they have pictures of black children? And she was like really embarrassed, and I think all she said to me was, and she seemed like she said it so harshly, don't you worry about that. You just make sure you can read the book. Don't you worry about not having, not being in the picture. And when he said, I think I'm beautiful, and he almost whispered it, It was almost like there was a kind of reverence there where he was almost afraid to say. And yet it came out before he could hold it back that it is beautiful. And I don't think he was saying, I think you're a terrific artist. I think he was just responding to the image of himself.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's that aspect of it that really kind of resonated with me. Inside, I was kind of rejoicing, I suppose, that this young boy had already seen his own beauty in a way. And by beauty, I mean, that there's some value to who he is as a person. And, I don't know what people might have said to him, him being so quiet, maybe, he's had a lot of rubbish thrown his way. I don't know. But for that moment, he had that kind of epiphany or recognition that actually, yes, I have self-worth. And there was also, I mean, for me on a personal level, I just feel that if a young child can get that recognition, it will just be such an important thing for the rest of their life, that will help them to move forward.
Absolutely.
So often we're looking for other people to validate our worth, but if you can recognize that you have that value initially, that's a very special thing.
Yeah, I think that many of us try to don the exterior clothing or don the mask, as Claude McKay said in his poems. We wear the mask that grins and lies and hides our face and shades our eyes. This whole business, we try to put on this outfit that says we're okay, but we try to attack it from the outside in and not from the inside out. And I don't think that we really get meaningful change unless you work from the inside out. And there's some painful things still on the inside there. And so of course I'm very keen to know how a black man sees it, even though it's just your story, and each black man could have his own story.
Sure.
And the reason I say that, because often we're socialized so differently. Parents will send black girls to ballet lessons and give the black boy a football, and he goes off and kicks ball and gets an introduction to the sporting world and never touches the world of fine art or the arts. And so the two never meet each other. And when I began to remove my artwork from the established galleries and stuff and said, no, I want to take the artwork to the people, the response that I was getting from black men were very different from the response from black women, because fewer black men go to galleries where they're going to see imagery, period.
Sure. No, I think it is powerful. And, like the young boy was seeing himself, I believe I can see myself in that young boy as well, in a strange way. He's dark skinned like me, and we were all children, and and perhaps part of my response to that painting was that maybe I wish that I had that recognition when I was his age.
I can so identify with that. Like, if I had known then, I could have had so many more years of being good, instead of having compensatory behavior where I felt I had to be the better artist, and the better artist to balance off the other part of me that I didn't think was good enough. So too much of my life spent trying to prove something.
Sure.
When I could have been just friends with myself for all those years.
No, I hear that. I think that's very true. That's very true.
So I'm really excited, because tell the folks what you did.
I just felt compelled to. Well, for me, I suppose it's the kind of creativeness in me that when certain thoughts or feelings come, I like to try and record it in some way. So I decided to just write a little poem that was trying to sum up what we had spoken about, but also how I kind of responded to the painting.
All right.
Okay. So it's called Holy Me. I might not be the most beautiful, yet still I am beautiful. I might not be the most intelligent, yet still I am intelligent. I might not be the very best, yet still I can do my very best. I might not have everything, yet still I have something. My self-worth is a reflection of the value that I place on myself. I need to see what there is to see in me before I can expect others to also see it in me. I am what I am, and what I am is who I am. And who I am is all the potential that I have to become that I am. I am precious, therefore, precious like gold, even more so. For if one searches, you may find more gold, but no matter if you search high or low, you will never find someone exactly like me. See my halo? It shines because I am holy, holy me.
Right, that's great, Samuel. And it kind of reinforces my belief that um, we have the power to change the world. I think we don't always realize how much power we actually have. Most of us walk around much of the time feeling that we can make a very big impact. But we can, and when we're planting seeds, we don't know which ones are going to sprout or whatever. But now we don't just have the boy with the halo. We also have now the poem of the boy with the halo, which is pretty cool. And one day, I don't know, you might go home and you might end up writing a song about the boy with the halo. And we don't know how many children this will become a surrogate experience for. That, you know, that's how things happen. That's how they change. Sure. I am so honored to have had you here in the studio.
I'm honored to be here.
And I think we have these opportunities now with this incredible technology that's at our disposal, that we can make our voice heard beyond the established communication avenues. We can circumvent some of that and find independent ways to get our voices out there. Thank you so much for coming and being here in the studio. Have fun in, where are you, Zimbabwe?
Swaziland.
Swaziland. When you go back to Swaziland, say a big hello for me. And I will be thinking of you as you continue to teach music. And do you write as well?
A little bit.
And write as well. Well, I hope you're going to write a little bit more, because there are all these experiences that we have had collectively. And the bottom line is, I don't think we can wait for somebody else to tell our story. If we don't sing our story, it won't be sung.
That's right.
And if I don't paint our story, it won't be painted. So thank you so much, Sam, for being with me.